Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to go over some weekly stock picks. Really, basically, this is going to be an overall state of the market. I'm going to tell you kind of my plans moving forward. I don't have anything specific as far as swing plays this week. I'm going to talk about the state of the markets. I'm going to look at the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and I'm also going to talk about my plan of what I've been doing, what I'm going to continue to do this week moving forward. And then if you were going to buy some stocks, I'm going to kind of recommend a couple that I've been kind of nibbling at on the way down, and will continue to do so as well. So before we get into it, just to reiterate, not a financial advisor, make sure that you do your own research. Also, if you find value in the video, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our content, and hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can let you know every time we release new content. Other than that, guys, let's dive right on into it. So we're at the Fear and Greed Index, all right, which kind of measures excuse me, the overall state of the market. And 1 year ago, we were in extreme fear at 9, which would be down to roughly about here. A month ago, we were at neutral. The markets didn't know which way it wanted to go, and then Fed comes out, of course, and what happens? It's going to steer it one way or the other. A week ago, we were at 24, as obviously we see we went further down, and then currently at 15 in extreme fear. So typically when the lever reaches here, okay, anywhere from 25 or below is, in my opinion, a good chance for someone to come in for a swing trade, to average down on a longer term portfolio and things of that nature. Okay, whenever it gets all the way to extreme greed, you're due for some type of pullback. Okay, but we are in a very crucial point right now, which we'll look at the charts on the S&P 500. But as far as market momentum, we're definitely in extreme fear. As you see here, we're above that, trading above that 125-day moving average, and we just fell right down below it. Gave away all the gains from that little relief rally bull run that we had, and fell, obviously below that. So are we currently in, at the bottom? I don't know, but I will go break down the charts and kind of give you my opinions on that. So stock price strength, as you see here, we're in fear. Stock price breadth is in extreme fear. Put and call options, we're in extreme fear. Market volatility, extreme fear. Safe haven demand, fear. Junk bond demand, fear. So everything's fear, extreme fear. And that's typically, if you think about it, guys, if something just continues to go down and down and down and down and down, you could only have, it's a good time to come in, because eventually that's going to turn around and the markets will correct itself and at least temporarily start to kind of move higher as well. Okay, we're at the VIX, which measures the volatility. It's the volatility index. The VIX is currently at right under 32, and when this thing gets into the 30s again and it lines up with the Fear and Greed Index, in my opinion, that's some good time to come in and possibly make some swing trades and some buys on that. So we're going to take a look at the charts, guys. We're going to look at S&P 500. We're going to look at the NASDAQ, which is basically TQQQ is what I follow with the NASDAQ, and then UDOW, which is an ETF that tracks the Dow Jones. All right, guys, taking a look at the S&P 500. We did redraw the fib levels. We hit some new lows of 35.8413. We had talked about how 36 and some change was our floor, our support level, and we fell obviously below that. So now 35.8413 is currently your overall floor. All right, guys. So if we're looking here, the overall, the tip top's 46.65, and that's going to update actually this week, because now our new ceiling is going to be about 45, roughly, because the time frame is going to kind of keep moving along here, and but you can see just a slippery slope all the way down to the bottom, a little tiny pop up, and then we pulled back down. So we could see some more room for downside as well, if let's say we have a little bounce from here, and if we get up to about 3,700 and then we get rejected, you could see it pull down further. If we break below that 35.84, then I'm thinking maybe about overall the bottom could end up going over time to about 3,200. Okay, that's just kind of me thinking out loud. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but kind of crazy to think about. But in my opinion, if we do get some type of relief rallies coming up, this is an interesting spot to buy, because let's say we do have a relief rally and we get all the way to the red SMA line but get rejected, which is roughly about 4,000. You're looking at about 11% gain. If we have a decent couple of weeks, and I say we get up there, then we get rejected again, kind of like what we've done a couple of times, then it's a pretty decent gain. But it could be a good spot to maybe come in here and start some positions and kind of be a little cautious and wait until we actually confirm a bull run. Stocks like Tesla, Amazon, Nvidia, AMD, you can look and go in and enter in on those particular stocks that have been getting beat down as well. But even those have kind of held their own in all of this nasty volatility and this nasty move to the downside. Those are some that's actually held some of their strength, and those are the ones that you kind of want to target, in my personal opinion. Okay, so we're currently really just crossing over from, we had a tiny little bullish pattern, and now we're just getting into bearish pattern. So I think we could see a little bit more downside before we try to make our way back up. But we're super oversold, super undervalued on the 180-day 4-hour time frame. So let's take a look at TQQQ. This tracks the NASDAQ, and currently we're at $19.32. We did see a new low for the time frame. Currently about 72.23 is your overall high. That's obviously going to change too. It's going to be at about 67 bucks at some point during the week or sometime next week, and which makes me think that that could actually make this thing go a little bit lower before we start seeing some recoveries. But if you look at this, guys, if once the market does start to correct itself and move higher, the potential for return on some of these, because this tracks, a lot of the tech plays and everything on, basically it tracks the NASDAQ, which is tech heavy. And once those tech plays start recovering, this is going to recover as well. This thing moves very aggressive to the upside, also moves very aggressive to the downside. So if you're going to play off of this and try to make money while this goes down, SQQQ is the one that actually goes up when this goes down. So your first level of support resistance about 30.61. Red SMA line's about 32.71. And then as you see here, 39.51, 45, 52, 59, and then all the way to 72. Okay, we'll take a look at the UDOW, which also found some new lows of 38.54 for this time frame. I did draw the fib level based on what it's going to be, because this is about to disappear at 83.90, so we're roughly at about 81.30 for the tip top of the fib level. First level of resistance about 47.69, red SMA line 53.60, rough or 53.28, and then 54.87 will be your next level of resistance there. So I think this one could see a little bit more downside as well, depending on how the market opens up in the morning. You're going to want to take a look at the stock market futures. You just type that into Google at about 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you can take a look at what the market's futures are projected to open at, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so we'll take a look, guys, at let's take a look at Tesla real quick. This is one of the ones we talked about. This is the one that had a stock split, and we did break below that support level of 274. I had taken profits on my Tesla last week, and I'm glad I did, around right here, and it fell down below 274. So your overall level of support is 244 currently, and if it gets there, okay, anywhere close to that, I'm going to be a buyer, just based on kind of the pattern that we're seeing here. It's kind of making like a little double bottom W pattern to maybe kind of move up to the upside. But this is going to take some doing from the markets to overall kind of correct itself. But you see here on Tesla, as you have that pattern once here, it moves up, and then over here it fell down, popped up, fell down again, and made a decent move to the upside. Now we're kind of seeing it again, except we broke a little bit further below it. So we may have to wait it out and let it touch 244, pop up, fall down again. That might be the better entry play to ride this thing up to the upside. Okay, Amazon at about 113. I talked about that if it got to 100, I'd come in and buy more. I've been buying a little bit of this here and there every month, and just kind of slowly starting to add to my position. This is a longer term investment for me, as far as I want some of the other plays that we cash out in, such as ZNOG, IQST. That's where a lot of my money is going to come, is into here, because I know long term it's going to get back easily to probably 200, maybe 300 once the market starts recovering. But your overall floor right here is about $100, 101.26 to be exact. I think if we get there, then that's where I feel safe of coming back to buy in and buying more shares, as opposed to just one at a time, because I've just been kind of nibbling. I started nibbling at about 100, and then when it got to 115, I was buying there. It popped up, I waited for it to come back down, bought another share at about 117, and then if it comes all the way down to 101.26, obviously that's where I'll come in and buy some more. Okay, Zion Oil and Gas, guys, this is on the watch list, obviously. Everyone getting super nervous about this, and it's usually when you see people go crazy online and arguing with each other and talking about selling and talking about how this company is a scam. All of a sudden the company comes out with something. So we're hoping that that pattern continues, but I'm hoping that the pattern here, that whatever news release they have sends us moving higher, because it is kind of crazy how people have been holding on to this for so long that they're just waiting to really just to get out, because the trust in the company is really down right now, because they don't trust that they're doing right by the shareholders, and their excuse is we're trying to protect the shareholders. Well, you're not protecting the shareholders by keeping everything a secret. In my opinion, you're basically hurting them, because obviously you see this, we had a nice run to the upside, and then they crashed the stock at the annual shareholder meeting. We held support at about 22 cents. We fell below. Now we're holding support at about 17 to 18. And if we don't get anything soon, like I've been saying, I think we pull down and we fall back down to 10. The only way I come back in and buy more is if we get to 10 cents. Other than that, I'm just holding here and waiting it out to see what happens. And then obviously, guys, Shiba Inu, and my plan on it is it's been, slowly or steady staying at about the 4011 or 1085 level. And I'm adding every week, every 1 to 2 weeks, actually, I'm adding more and more and more, getting closer to my end goal and waiting on it. Once I get to my end goal, that's it. I'm holding just kind of like what I did with ZNOG, unless some type of big dramatic event happens where it falls really low, then I might add more after that. But their Eternity game should be out, I think, on October the 6th, which is coming up this week. So I think we either see a run up prior to that day, or maybe the day of, you might get a little spike in the price off of it. But I don't think it's going to stay at those levels for too much longer, which is why I'm trying to be a little bit more aggressive in my buying and trying to finish up those positions there. Okay. All right, guys. So that's all I got for you in this video. Let me know your comments below. Other than that, we will catch you in the next one.